What's up, everyone? It's the Sex and Grits channel. Supreme is dead, and I'm going to talk about 3 reasons why. Let's get into it. So Supreme, everyone knows Supreme as the streetwear behemoth, the undisputed streetwear brand in the entire world. In 1994, they started off as a skateboard shop, and over the last 3 decades, they ballooned into just a massive cultural phenomenon in the apparel world today. And you may think, okay, why do you think Supreme is dead? I still see it being sold online. I still see the stores up. Yeah, that's all true. But I'm gonna tell you why. But ultimately, this is a slow death. And we're gonna talk a little bit about why that is. So Supreme, again, started in 1994, been around 3 decades. The VF Corporation purchased Supreme in 2020 for $2.1 billion. Last year, they had a forecasted revenue of $600 million, and they fell well short of that, only coming in at $523 million. And that's pretty problematic. So let's get into it. Reason number 1, oversaturation. So Supreme has been known for their mystique. It's inaccessibility. And you can kind of see what the VF Corporation has done since purchasing the company is that they've made the brand more accessible. Keep in mind, VF Corporation is home to other mass-produced brands such as JanSport, Dickies, North Face. And those particular brands, those are brands you can find at most department stores and malls. Supreme, there's only 15 brick and mortar locations across the United States and the world. And there's that, so again, it's not meant to be this sort of like, hey, anyone could purchase a shirt or accessories or whatever comes out. But I feel like VF Corporation is trying to change the tide a little bit in that sense. I think VF Corporation is not interested in that mystique that Supreme has historically brought. They would say otherwise though. Here's an interesting quote right here from the chair of VF Corporation. Yeah, I don't believe him either, but again, oversaturation is the number 1 cause why Supreme is dead. Number 2, the allure is dying. So Supreme has been known for their collaborations from high-end luxury to everyday items that you can find at Target, right? So they've done collaborations with Louis Vuitton, they've done collaborations with Hanes, they've done collaborations with pretty much anyone you can think of. And it's an interesting model, right? You're sort of bringing in 2 different worlds, the streetwear world intertwined with just everyday relatable household items, whether it's clothes, whether it's accessories, appliances, what have you. And so it's kind of marrying those 2 together. And I think people were attracted to that. Over the years, it's been sort of overdone. It's like, I mean, you can't Supreme everything, right? And for me personally, as a Supreme consumer, a person who has a lot of Supreme items, it's like, it's a little tired, right? It's like, what's next? Supreme house? A Supreme commercial building? A Supreme car? It's just getting a little bit ridiculous right now. And it's becoming a little bit too contrived and a little bit trivial. Supreme needs to find a way to evolve different ways, right? Again, I still think there's a market for that, but I feel like Supreme has become more of a one-trick pony with these ridiculous collaborations. And you're seeing it, right? A lot of these items that, you know, even just a couple years ago, they would sell out in seconds. Now you're able to, weeks after these drops have happened, you can still find them on the website. You can still find them in the stores. And that's why I say the allure is dying. I think Supreme is sort of, hey, like, yeah, that was so. And I think, you know, even for the most ardent Supreme enthusiasts, I think they're starting to figure out, yeah, this is too much. You know, I think, you know, this is becoming sort of boring. And that's sort of the case for myself. All right, reason number 3, and the last reason why Supreme is dead, is competition, right? Don't get me wrong, Supreme is still the undisputed champion. Supreme is still at the top in terms of streetwear brands. But competition is making major headways into their market share. Brands like Palace, brands like Essentials, Fear of God. All these brands are starting to undertake Supreme's model because it's very easy to replicate. Co-branding is very easy. It's not hard to replicate. And so people who are interested in streetwear, who are interested in other brands, they'll be interested in other collaborations with other streetwear brands. So that's like one thing that Supreme, I feel, is failing to see, is that that mystique is dying, right? So that's one thing I feel that consumers of streetwear, such as myself, are seeing, right? There's like streetwear before, Supreme was the only one doing this. And now several streetwear companies are replicating the same model. And you can see it all over. So that's 3 reasons why Supreme is dead. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, Supreme is going to close its doors next week or next month or even next year, right? I think this is gonna be a slow death. It's gonna take some time because Supreme has made it a major footprint in the streetwear market. But again, I think VF Corporation is gonna be the downfall of Supreme. Like I said before, it's not interested in the hype. It's not interested in the mystique. It's not interested in the exclusivity that Supreme has previously held. And so my prediction is that Supreme is going to be sold in stores like Target and Walmart eventually. And if you don't believe me, do you guys remember a brand called Rock & Republic? They were high-end denim wear in the 2000s, worn by celebrities, musicians, actresses. It was a high-quality denim. They had a flagship store in Beverly Hills on Robertson. It was one of the peak denim brands, premium peak denim brands in the 2000s. What happened to them? VF Corporation purchased Rock & Republic. Where can you find Rock & Republic right now? Kohl's. Life comes at you fast, right? So Supreme is way bigger than Rock & Republic. So again, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a quick death like Rock & Republic, but it is coming. And you can kind of see just with this massive, massive loss that they took in 2022 that the end is coming. So Supreme is dead. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Till next time, peace.